Gentlemen, if your main goal is to be liked, then you've already surrendered your strength. A lot of men today are caught in this trap. See, you're told just be nice. Don't make waves. Always agree. Be soft, be safe, and then you'll be liked. And guess what? A lot of men do it. They play nice, hoping that people will love them for it. But instead of love, they get walked on, they get ignored, they get disrespected, they get friend zoned and passed over. You know what, guys? I was there at some point in my life. It's called being the nice guy. And the nice guy is killing your masculinity. Look, I'm not talking about being kind or having manners. Yeah, that's part of being a gentleman. That's who you should be. I'm talking about that weak, approval-seeking version of manhood that confuses passivity with virtue. Today, I'm going to break it down and expose the cost of living like a nice guy and show you how to trade it into a real masculine leadership, the kind that earns respect and builds a legacy. Look, if that sounds interesting to you, then stick around and let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson. I want to welcome you to the Legacy Gentleman channel. On this channel, every day we talk about the values, skills, and works that will be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. And when you have that, you, sir, are a legacy gentleman. Hey, gentlemen, the nice guy syndrome, it isn't about treating people well. It's about suppressing who you are to gain acceptance. Look, man, a nice guy, he avoids conflict. He doesn't speak his mind. He sacrifices his standards just to keep the peace. Now, this guy, he confuses people-pleasing with godliness. He thinks that being agreeable makes him a good man. But what all he really does is make himself extremely forgettable. Look, nice guys, they end up hiding their strength. They seek validation through what they give attention, affection, effort, and expect love in return for it. But look, relationships, they really don't work that way. Because look, at the core, this really just comes from fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of disapproval. Look, maybe it started with the culture which kind of equated masculinity to sin. But look, I ain't here to point fingers. We're here to take responsibility. Guys, you ever consider what it actually costs you routinely for being the nice guy? Like in relationships, you get friend zoned, you get used, you get strung along sometimes. In your career, you play small, you don't speak up in meetings, you take the extra work without boundaries, you're always agreeable and you're never respected. Faith, you're afraid to challenge falsehoods, and so you blend in when you should be standing firm. You're passive when God calls you to be powerful. See, Proverbs 29 and 25 says, fear of man will prove to be a snare, but those who trust in the Lord will be kept safe. Because look, being a nice guy, it's a trap. It keeps you soft, it keeps you silent, and most of all, it keeps you stuck. Men, you don't want to be stuck. So let me say this loud and clear. Kindness is not the problem. Weakness is. There's a difference between biblical kindness and self-erasing passiveness. Jesus was kind. He had compassion. He served, but he also rebuked the religious leaders. He flipped over tables. He walked into storms. Jesus was not a nice guy, but he was a good man with strength and control. And that's what he modeled for us all to do. See, Ephesians 4 and 15 says, speak the truth in love. That's the balance. Love with strength, truth with courage, compassion with clarity. Being a gentleman isn't about being liked. It's about being trustworthy. It's about being the kind of man who can lead, protect, and walk with purpose. So yes, be kind, be respectful, be generous, but don't be afraid to be direct, honest, and firm. Here's how to kill the nice guy and build the gentleman. First, set boundaries. If something crosses your values, speak up. Man, you need to learn to say no. No without guilt. You do not owe anyone any of your energy. Tell the truth respectfully. Stop sugarcoating it to be liked. Just tell the truth. Live for purpose, not popularity. If it costs you approval to live in integrity, man, pay it. Look, man, just start small. Speak up when you would normally stay quiet. Push back when someone disrespects you. Do that always. Man, look, stand firm when others want you to fold. Even if this is a chance when you would normally fold, you try to do something different. Don't do it with arrogance. Do it with confidence. You're not here to fit in. You're here to lead with conviction. Here's a secret that most nice guys never learn. Respect is worth more than attention. Attention is cheap. You can buy it, you can beg for it, and you can even fake it. But respect, it is earned. You earn it by being a man of discipline, vision, and action. By doing what you say you're gonna do, by showing up, by making the hard decisions. Look, Matthew 5:37 says, let your yes be your yes and your no's be your no's. Look, real men are not emotionally manipulated. They do not perform for applause. They do not compromise their values for approval. You live by your mission, and that's what draws others to you. So let me ask you straight. Are you chasing approval, or are you building respect? The world does not need any more nice guys. It needs good men who are strong, who are disciplined, and who are full of truth. So kill that nice guy and build that gentleman. I'm telling you guys, it's the best thing you can do for your life. You will walk with your head up higher. You will find this code that you live by, and you will walk past other people shamelessly. You'll still be kind, but you'll be bold. You'll be respectful, but never spineless. Look, guys, if this message hits home, because I can tell you it is my life story, then like it and share it to somebody with somebody else who you think could use it. And also, if you haven't done it, subscribe to this channel. We're building a tribe of men who don't settle for comfort, but who live to build a legacy. So, man, until next time, speak the truth, set some boundaries, lead with strength, and go be legendary.